Hi, Shorty here. I am reading from the complete book of the Zodiac for all of you out there with a moon in Libra. So here we go. With the moon in Libra, you always know exactly how you feel. Unsure. You always have done, always will, and no doubt you had to learn long ago how to live with constant fluctuating emotions. The trick, in case you have yet to discover it, is to stop thinking about how you feel, or at least stop thinking about how you ought to feel the same way from day to day. Other than that fact, you're never quite clear whether you're worried or confident, happy or upset, energetic or apathetic. You're an absolutely A1 human being. This may sound contradictory, but aren't all humans contradictory? Isn't the only difference between you and everyone else the fact that you are happy to own up to your own contraries, but most other people fight hard to hide theirs? And doesn't this make you more emotionally honest and therefore, in an odd way, more straightforward? Sorry to ask so many questions, but in doing so, I'm only reflecting yet another classic moon in Libra tendency. You delight in pondering the imponderable, yet you get along in life pretty well despite it all. Why? Because having a moon in Libra also makes you charming, affable, seductive, creative, fun to be with, and generally fascinating. And because you are so aware of your own faults, you are loath to condemn others for theirs, which naturally enough makes you very popular. Your biggest problem is that you're so easily able to make yourself absolutely irresistible to others. Not only have you got natural charisma, poise, and elegance, you've got something even more potentially devastating: adaptability. You can instinctively sense when a person wants you to be like, and effortlessly alter your personality to supply it. Worse, you actually want to do this. Little gives you greater pleasure than to provide what a loved one is looking for. Willingly and instantly, you will say what they want to hear and respond as they want you to respond. And most appealingly of all, put the look into your eyes that they most want to see. How can anyone fail to fall hopelessly for someone who so accurately mirrors their own deepest and most secret desire? It's all fine until they find out that in a different situation with a different companion, you're a different person entirely. When they turn and ask if the real you will please stand up, you have to reply meekly, which real me did you want me to show you? Well, okay, maybe you're not that bad, but you do have a tendency to be an emotional chameleon, and it does have to be watched. Members of your family sometimes grow fed up with your habit of weighing every pro and con so carefully that, by the time you've found a fair formula, the sense under discussion has become irrelevant. Friends are never quite sure where your loyalties lie. Romantic partners despair over getting a straight answer to anything. They'll all forgive you because you're so good at turning on that charm that even when you're letting someone down, you can make it seem as though you're offering them an opportunity. But if you want a happier love life, you want to become secure in yourself and need to find your security by winning everyone's approval all the time. You'll see that your moon sign has been depicted as precariously balanced tightrope walker. Meditate on it for a few minutes and you'll have the benefit of twice as much commentary as I'm giving every other zodiac sign. This should please you, for though your moon may be in the sign of balance, the desire to be fair to everyone all the time is not your primary concern. You're conscious of how nice it would be if you could, but you're more conscious of what you see and less than ideal that fate has dealt you. A lot of your energy is spent attempting to redress this balance. You want what you haven't got, but you feel you ought to be entitled to. Is there a chance you'll get it? You'll go to almost any length. Tightrope, you'll walk along a tightly stretched cotton if that's what's required. One thing the moon in Libra is surely provided you is with a sense of courage. If the odds of success are so slim as to deter people, or the window of opportunity so small that only a contortionist could enter it, you consider yourself to be looking at a challenge that has your name stamped all over it. You have your moon sign to thank for the occasions in your life when you've pulled off some magnificent coup. You also have it to blame for the greater number of times you have failed in a big way. Much of your irresponsibility is ironically a reaction to the way you always felt when you were being kept down as a child. If you want to learn how to make it work for, rather against you as an adult, you must come to terms with those memories. In the meantime, it can't be good. If you can't be good, at least be a little more careful. Alright, so if you have the moon in Libra and the sun in Aries, you have a strong urge to constantly prove yourself, though you aren't always sure how to go about doing so. If your moon is in Libra and your sun is in Taurus, you've got a magnificent aesthetic eye. You appreciate colors, textures, and flavors, and you probably love to create them too. If your moon is in Libra and your sun is in Gemini, you try so hard to rationalize and analyze everything in your world that your own spontaneous instincts often take you by surprise. Sun in Cancer. You go to great lengths to protect people and principles that you believe in. You are generous with both your time and your heart. Sun in Leo. Few can resist your silver tongue, your golden smile, and your eyes that usually twinkle like diamonds, but you can also give very cutting looks. Sun in Virgo. You sometimes feel sorry for those who try to pin you down because you know you can run rings around just about anyone. Sun in Libra. Rarely, if ever, do you give others a reason to take offense, which really infuriates your more impassioned friends and loved ones. Sun in Scorpio. You're never quite sure you really feel what you feel or just think you feel it, but you're a person of great vision and strength. Sagittarius. Your social diary is never empty. You have more friends than you can keep track of, even though they can't quite keep track of you. Sun in Capricorn. You have a lot of charisma, which no doubt contributes to the fact that you so often seem to make such a success of all you do. Sun in Aquarius. If your mind were open any wider, jumbo jets could fly in formation through it. You believe anything is possible, and you might be right. And Sun in Pisces. You have an endless hunger to discover the true meaning of life and are forever asking deep, searching, and highly valuable questions. Okay, so that's all I have for all of you out there that have a moon in Libra. I hope that you found this information helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I love you.